Begin with, we have this concept of the people from other planets as little green men. Are they green from what you know? Are they all the same?
Unfortunately, they're not so benevolent.
A fucking alien.
What's good? Welcome here at 51 here with your host Jimmy. Another day in space, floating in the universe. Give us a like, subscribe, and also become part of our community here in goldenarrowboxing.com for more news, information, stories. We got everything there for you if you like real boxing. Check us out in the web. All right, let's get to the story real quick. Obviously, I made a video the other day about how rehydration clauses are terrible for boxing. I've been saying this for years. I've been saying this for many, many years, more than 12 years or 13 years. I've been saying the same garbage over and over again. People just don't learn. Rehydration clauses are pretty much a way to tell your opponent, hey, you know what? I want you to have a disadvantage the day of the fight. And the way that I'm going to do that is by weight draining you so you don't feel the same way as me, so you don't blow up to your natural, weight, because everybody hydrates differently. We all can cut weight, but people hydrate differently because of their body. Everybody has a different prototype of body, and they have to hydrate according to how their body is. Okay, it might help you, it might not help you to hydrate a lot. It just depends on how your body is. If you hydrate too much, you can become slower in the ring, and if you don't hydrate too much, then you can definitely also become slower and start to lose track of a lot of different things, because it's not a good thing. Weight draining can take an effect in your body, and it's not a good thing. Okay, so Devin Haney said this, and I knew this was going to happen. I told you guys a few weeks ago that this was going to happen, that Gervonta Davis putting a rehydration clause is going to set the precedent of saying, hey, you know what? Hey, I'm the A side. You know what? Hey, I'm going to weight drain you. This is the same shit that we saw from Floyd Mayweather Jr. I spoke in my video, Canelo Alvarez, Gennady Golovkin, and other fighters who set these standards to weight drain their opponents so they don't have the same physical ability to deal with the fight. I think that should be illegal. That is terrible for boxing, and that's something that's more into the new school of boxing. There used to be catch weights, but we see a lot of this rehydration garbage. Anyway, let's see what Devin Haney had to say. I want to ask about this rehydration clause.
Gervonta Davis has said that he would like to fight you and Shakur next. Would you be willing to stay at 135 to fight Tank?
Yeah, of course. I would love to, stay at 135 and fight the biggest names. Well, it all starts with May 20th. I got to be victorious in my next fight, and then those fights will line up.
Do you think your event is
the rehydration clause to get that Tank fight?
Yeah, truthfully, I couldn't. I wouldn't, and I couldn't, do the rehydration clause. At the end of the day, I'm the man with the belts. I'm the man with the hardware. If it was a rehydration clause, then it would be something that I wouldn't do.
Absolutely, and it makes a lot of sense. First of all, I don't know how to explain myself. If you are coming up in weight, the reason why you're coming up in weight is because you're challenging yourself. That's why you're coming up in weight. You have a weight class. If you feel like the next weight class is going to be too much for you, stay in your weight class. But Gervonta Davis can't be coming to 135 and then expecting that fighters that are in 135 to start at 135 like Devin Haney are not going to blow up like at least 20 pounds or 15 pounds the day of the fight. That's just stupid. You got to be retarded. That's how boxing has always been, and it used to be way worse when there was 8 divisions. But people don't want to say, they don't, all those fighters who were fighting from the 50s and down, 60s and down. They were real fighters. They weren't putting any of these excuses. There was some catch weights, give you that, but no rehydration clauses, at least that I know of. Now, Gervonta Davis responded to Devin Haney. This is what he said. It says, "This no knuckles pillow fist." I don't know what he said. Probably said something bad that was blacked out. Rehydrates 24 pounds, basically coming up in as a middleweight, and still can give his opponents a nosebleed. Well, Not a good example, and that picture he uploaded was Devin Haney's fight with George Kambosos, where George Kambosos, got obliterated in that fight, and he doesn't seem like he just came from a beauty spa. Look at his face. It looks like, I don't know. He came from that festival in Spain where they throw tomatoes in your face. That's what he looks like. Okay. But look at that picture. So the problem is that why make that rehydration clause with Ryan Garcia? And what are you telling your opponents when you do that? You see, this is the problem where they have with fighters like Gervonta Davis. Always controversial. These sort of fighters are always controversial. They always make boxing more difficult. Why are you in 135? Why did you fight Mario Barrios at 140? You didn't give it any restrictions. He wasn't even a champion. Why? Your team was talking about, and this was a rumor that seemed to be true, that Fleming Wither Jr. or somebody, Tank Davis Camp was trying to make a fight with Keith Thurman. It never materialized, but apparently they were willing to fight Keith Thurman. Isn't that weird? Why go up and fight Keith Thurman? And this is the problem with Gervonta Davis, because at the end of the day, the fact that you put a rehydration clause to Ryan, who you're supposed to beat easily, right? All your fans say you're going to beat him easily. Why do that? Because you can't beat him easily. That's why. Gervonta Davis is even saying that he's working on his defense. Right. Kind of late for that. Now you're working on your defense. Because you get caught too much. Right. See, the thing is that Ryan Garcia is a dangerous fight. That's the truth. And when you start putting these clauses, then is when you start to say, I don't really believe in my skill. Therefore, what I'm going to do is I'm going to weight drain you. So obviously, Devin Haney should be worried, because if Tank wants to fight him, like Tank says, he is basically saying that I'm going to give you a rehydration clause. And there's nowhere there in that comment that Gervonta Davis wrote where he states that he wouldn't do that to Devin Haney. He just insults Devin Haney and calls him pillow-fisted. But wasn't your trainer, or the one that promoted you, Gervonta Davis, also pillow-fisted? That's Floyd Mayweather Jr., who also, by the way, put rehydration clauses to other opponents as well. Try to put one to Winky Wright. I love Winky Wright. See, we go back to square one. And I hope that his fans call him up on that, because I think that's bullshit. I think there shouldn't be any clause. And honestly, Devin Haney should not be fighting Gervonta Davis in that case. And Gervonta Davis does not deserve to fight for a title that is undisputed, given the fact that neither George Kambosos nor Jojo Diaz were asking him to weight train. In fact, Jojo Diaz went up the same weight classes as Gervonta Davis and never asked for that. He just wanted the fight because he's a true warrior. And that's what we need in boxing. But you want to weight drain Ryan Garcia, who's not even as accomplished right now. He's not even disputed as Devin Haney, or skillful in my opinion. He does have power though. But I do believe he's dangerous for Gervonta Davis. I don't think he'll, like I said, I don't believe he beats, Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney, but I do believe he can beat Gervonta Davis. But, at the end of the day, this is what happens. You keep giving these guys passes, and they will use everything against you eventually. If you're a fan of any of these boxers, when they give your boxer a rehydration clause, well, if you support this shit, well, big thumb for you, because you deserve it. You're an idiot for buying into this shit. All right. So anyway, that's how I'm gonna leave it. I totally back Devin Haney on this. I never liked rehydration clauses, and I think that, I think he's gonna give more rehydration clauses. So he's just telling you what he's doing with Ryan Garcia to show what he's gonna do to other boxers as well. Anyway, peace out. Give us a like, subscribe, and to the next video. Hagone, like the native say in New Mex.